Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to reflect on some options that I've sold recently on both Sofi and Nvidia, and some lessons learned that I want to share with you because every now and then I like to sprinkle some of the things that I look at and I'm like, wow, I could have done that differently. Because as you can tell, I'm not perfect by any means. And that's why I document these because I'm trying to be 100% transparent. And if I make mistakes, hopefully you learn from them. And before we get started into that, if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. That way you don't miss any videos in the future. At the start of the week, I was a little bit concerned because we were going into earnings for SoFi on Monday. And at the time, I had 10 puts that were open on SoFi. A lot of them were expiring this week. And the highest strike price put that I had sold that was expiring this week was at $15.50. And luckily for me, it did dip below that and was in the money on Monday, but it recovered and now it's been above ever since. And I had more than just this one $15.50 put. I think I had three at the time of recording that video. And something I did incorrectly and that I will try to learn from in the future is once it recovered and stayed above 1550 but was a little bit close to 1550, I got scared and rolled it another week. When in reality, I could have just held on to that and gotten closer to the expiration and made my decision then. If I wanted to roll it or buy to close or whatever the case, maybe just let it expire. So I ended up jumping the gun. I rolled these puts a couple weeks out and I think at a lower strike price. If we go ahead and it looks like one of them I kept the same strike price, and then two of them I actually rolled at a lower strike price, extra week out. And in reality, I could have just held on to those puts because they weren't in the money at the time when I rolled them. So there's really no sense in rolling them. I just got emotional, and that's what you don't want to do when selling options is get emotional. Now we're humans, we're going to get emotional. That's just how things work. Regardless, I did end up making money rolling those positions, so I guess it wasn't all for nothing. On that $15 one that I rolled 2 weeks out, I made an extra $32 in premium from the difference of buying to close the current puts and then selling to open these new ones. 32 bucks is not that bad. And if you're interested in purchasing this spreadsheet for yourself and helping out the channel, I also have a new course for beginners. If you want to learn all there is to get started selling options, this course is for you. I just created it. And because of the new launch of this course, there'll be a 25% off discount for a limited time in the description. And thank you so much for even considering it. And then something else I did a couple videos back, I mentioned I was going to do was roll up a put on Nvidia. And right now it's actually very close to being in the money. I went from $116 put strike this week to $122. Of course, I did make some extra premium as we see here in the spreadsheet. I'm making an extra $106, but now we're very close to being in the money. The current price of Nvidia is 123. So tomorrow I'm going to have to make the decision. Do I want to roll this out or let it expire or buy to close? That's obviously going to be determined after seeing what the price action of Nvidia is tomorrow. We're still not at the end of the month. We have one more day, but so far this month, I've made $3,081 in premium and maybe a little capital appreciation sprinkled in there, which is phenomenal. I would say if I could make $2,000 a month in premium, that would be a great goal to achieve. And just having 50% more than my actual goal just blows my mind. So that's today's update. I guess once again, the lesson learned here is if a put that you sold is not in the money, but let's say the price of the underlying asset is getting close to the strike price, obviously you can do what you want, but I'm trying to not get my emotions to get the best of me and roll it for no reason. I'm going to stick it out, get closer to the expiration date, especially if it's out of the money. There's no real point to roll it and see what happens closer to expiration. Like I said, if you want to go check out my course for beginners, you learn what selling a put and a call means and the wheel strategy and the deltas and buying the close and all of that stuff that I mentioned in these YouTube videos. This is supplemental education, and there'll be a link down in the description. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys are all doing well, and I hope to see you in a future video.